Hi everyone, it's me LMG, and today we're going to be watching a video made by CBARM, one of the friends of mine, and also he was part of the CB Flip Club team before that dissolved. And today we're going to talk about the world of Erontonia. Now, just a little bit of background: Erontonia is a fictional world made by Colneris, which is a YouTuber who quit, and he'll explain this too. And he passed it to CBARM and the official LMG, me, and we I made a video about it like a year and a half ago or something like that, a long time ago, about Blisticris, Antares, or Blisticris, yeah, Antares and Lanneris. That's way outdated, and this is a more dated one. He just made this a couple days ago, so we're gonna watch it and critique it. 12 minutes, wow.
What's up, gang? Today we're going to be exploring the world of Arantonia. Arantonia
Mhm.
is a world that former YouTuber Comrades made,
So this is
but he quit and
so this is what I just said basically.
passed it on to me and the official LMG to work with. Now, I made a new revamped map. Today we're going
Yeah, so the differences between this map is one, we're actually using a year date with 1936. Back then it was like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think the current year was like 15 or something like that, or 18, I think. I don't know, somewhere around there. But now it's 1936 because that's our new year revamp. It's like our world now. So a little bit of differences I can see already is that there's an island. I don't know if he's going to talk about it, but there's an island chain, like archipelago here, a little archipelago here. Um, Is there any new country? These two are new. This is new. This is new. These two are new countries. There's an island here, which I don't remember. I guess these are supposed to be the Austin Islands, I think he called them, which I will look through, post, edit. And then there's a new continent. And that's all I can see so far, except for some more islands.
to be exploring 4 maps here. So first we're going to start with political map, of course.
Yep.
So, I'm going to show all the new landforms that I made. So, I'm going to be circling all of the new things that I have made. So this is all of the new.
Yeah, so as you can see, most of these are islands. Yeah, see, there's islands here, as I pointed out. Oh yeah, this I forgot about this. This is Lania, not Lania. Lania, there's a difference. Lania, while Lania, as in the Lania Morgan Empire, is Laneian. There's a difference. This is before this in like our actual timeline when you made it. Um, this and this, I don't know what they are. I don't know if you're gonna get to them, but in the other islands, they just seem to be occupied by the surrounding countries,
Things that I made. So as you can see,
and also the continent.
mostly archipelagos. The name also of this continent before was called Antares, but I decided to change it to Anaris just to make it more.
I'm pretty sure Anaris was the original name of it. I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm remembering wrong, but I thought Anaris was the original name of it. But whatever.
Original. Now, let's get into the political part. So
Yay!
there are 4 continents here, and also 5 oceans. The oceans are the Occidental Ocean, Albanta Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, and I didn't label it, but the Southern Ocean and the Northern Ocean.
Very creative.
The continents: Bloodskris, Anaris, Lanneris, Suploris. 3 of them ended S. Now, uh, Suploris is the new continent that I added here. So I decided to add more land area to the world. So that's why. Now we're going to be exploring the countries that are labeled already. The red is Ferron, blue is Abrascalia. These two are currently in a arms race as of 1936 when the map was dated. So I'm going to be explaining the blocks.
Alright.
Of course, the darkest of their colors is the head nations. This shade and this shade is like closely aligned, and the light shade is they're only like politically aligned. They're not that close. So These two are in an arms race, right? Aproscadia wants political sphere of influence over the Albanta and Occidental oceans, but Farron, like, naturally has control of this due to them having a very large navy in the world, and also much of their coastline is in the.
So first of all, I see that Farron is united, and I'll put all the images here because I don't think these are much known too much. But Farron actually after Colonialists made after the First World War, which was in the 1910s, as in this timeline, as he said, um, Farron was actually like basically balkanized, um, and the main Corfaron was actually Haxenpool occupied. So I'm guessing Farron somehow broke away from that and basically claimed everything, and basically like, got all their land back somehow in 20 years, which is actually pretty cool. Which is actually pretty magnificent, honestly. I guess just to mirror Germany in World War II, as how like Germany was left really well, not divided. I wouldn't say as balkanized, but it was certainly left really weak. And in the 1930s, at this time, Germany was really rapidly militarizing. So I guess it's supposed to be a real connection here, because I mean, Farron did cause the First World War in this world, and not. I mean, Germany didn't cause it. I mean, they kind of did. I mean, yeah, you know what I mean. So I guess Farron's kind of is a Germany.
Ocean. So, and Aproscadia wants to challenge that. I will name their allies right now. This here is called Isaperon, labeled with an I.
Yeah.
This one is Morajan. And then down south we got Sosov.
So Issaparon, Morajan, and Solsev were actually in a war. This is actually a video CBA made, another one. The 10-Day War, where Faran was mostly centered around this area. And then Morajan was huge over here, and they had a vassal named Heniza, I think, like this. And then Isparani was also way bigger. Faran challenged them all. And Upsaract was actually didn't have this little panhandle here, and they actually got it because they teamed up with Faran, I think. Um, and that's why Faran is so big, and that's why these areas are so small. And I assume that's why they probably allied with Upsarac, because they probably really hate. They definitely really hate Faran.
Which is a
Or,
mountainous country. Now, over here, we got Austria. Austria is the main naval power in the Pacific Ocean, but has naval presence in the Atlantic Ocean due to their colonies here. They have an autonomous state called Irreos, which is important later on. They're
um, this is my quick note here. So I think let me go back a little bit to where the map moves about. So this is Swasterland. I know this is Swasterland because that's what Colmos canonized it as. This little area right here. Can I get like a good view of it? Yeah, there you go. So this area right here, I think, is a country called Zambodia, which was in a really old Colmos video that I think he re-uploaded. But it was never. I think is there when the first Blustercrest War happened, and I guess it somehow wrangled its independence because I think Haxenbull annexed it. And then uh, this one up here is Gearsub, I think, or Gearsubia, something like that. And I think it was like a tribe way back when all these in Blustercrest were city states. So I guess it also somehow wrangled its independence.
they're more aligned with the nations here
So
than Austria.
yeah.
Now, another nation here is Haxenpol. This nation has a probably the most richest history out of all of the Arantonia nations, and their allies the Austria. To the nation south, we got the Faroese.
So Haxenpool actually started around here, around this area, as Hajaxon. And then they tried to invade Oronas, which was Oronas, whatever, which is actually Farja at the time, which is another tribe or another city-state tribe thing. Until they asserted themselves, and then the Orons cooed, as seen in History of Arantonia video, but also my CBA room. Jakosat Or is it Javacost? I get them so confused. Javacost or Jacosat, whichever one this one is. I have no idea, honestly. They confuse me. But one of them is really closely aligned to the Haxable, not as in politically, but as in I think culturally and ethnically. As they actually split, as you can see in this video, they actually split off from the Hajaxon when Hajaxon was made. When Hajaxon was officially asserted itself as like an actual nation, this part I think it was Javacost. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they split off, and that's why they're on there. They're still independent.
Nation Ornis. This nation is have a similar culture to Ereos, and they are rivals with Haxenpol. Over here we got the central countries. These
Okay, yeah, I don't know which one it is. I think it's Jacosat, maybe. I have no idea.
countries are oil-rich countries, and they were devastated in the 1910s, but throughout the 1920s and 30s they redeveloped, they reconstruct themselves, and now they are prosperous.
This makes sense. As Turfenston and Tirani, I think we're both Fer Ferranese allies during the First Great War, I guess, or whatever they're calling it. I guess I'll just call it World War One. Um, so I'd assume that they're still closely aligned with Farron because I guess Farron maybe when they were rising up again, I guess they also helped. They helped these here.
Here it's just Ferranese and Upper Scandinavian colonies. Now if we move west, we got the Pyrenees Empire. Now this nation is the most powerful nation in Anaris that is not an Erontonia nation. They have spheres of influence here,
By Arantonia, he meant Busticus.
and here, making a sort of Holy Roman Empire type of thing. The nations, these include the city-states here, and also the nations of Morek and Vidraulia.
These are nations that he both made because I never heard of them.
To the south, we got
Also, please give me the spelling of them because I really want to know.
Chipre. This nation
Cassiope.
is a ally of Farron, and this allows Farron to have power projection in the Occidental Ocean, and it was invaded by Haxenpol later in the lore. This is all Oran, Haxenpol, and Austridi. This is
Also, if you're wondering what this is, he'll get to that later.
also here Ferranese. To the south here, we got the nation of Kapayan. This nation is inspired by the Filipino word Kapayapan, and it means peaceful, because Kapayan was the main power in the region.
I think the name of the country is Kapayapan, not Kapaipan or whatever you said. The name of the country is literally Kapayapan, I think.
And since they were so powerful and so isolated from the rest of Anaris that they mostly had peace in the region up until recently when the Australians conquered their land and also the Ferranese. They also have a local name called Bernia, inspired from the two words Berbania and Bayani. Bayani means hero, and Verbania's fictional nation in the Filipino book Ibong Darno. Now we're gonna move on to Lanneris. Now,
Official LMG mention! I made this! Not all the nations here, but I made this one at least, and some of these, so.
Lanneris is special because it was created by the other owner of Erontonia, the official LMG. So
Mm-hmm.
you will see a lot of references to him, including the continent name and the prime country here, the Lanimorgan Empire. The
I do have a new flag. It's literally just the darker blue. You'll see it in the thumbnails. You'll see it on the country on the thumbnail. But and it has a new coat of arms, but that's more aligned to my micronation. This is huge spoilers, but as you've seen, the United Laner State, that's for my micronation because I'm making one. But I don't know if I'm gonna make that the same for my Arantonia nation, or I'm just gonna keep this, or I'm just gonna do like basic tricolor. I'm leaning on the basic tricolor though.
Lanimorgan Empire is an Austro-Hungarian type of nation, having the two kingdoms of Lania and Morgania.
Yeah.
They also have a colony here, which is owned by Lania.
So let me just go back a little bit to that. There you go. So this area right here, these are our Oranese colonies, but this one right here is actually are these two were a part of all of this actually. This Haxman one, this Landing one, and these two Aronia ones. This was formed. This formed the six land, yeah. And there's a whole 6 land war that CBA re-uploaded from Comerist, and it shows. You'll see. I'll link it in the description, and the thumbnail will be in the video when I edit it. But basically, this is all 6 land, and that's how Lanneris got this, because Lanneris actually helped Haxenpool and Orones defeat them. So yeah, we all love colonization, guys.
Owned by Lania. Here it's just another bunch of city-states. Then we got the two nations of Bacon and Yurkon. These
Okay, so I'm pretty sure Urkon's flag is red on top, is basic tricolor. Red on top, yellow in the middle, and then light green on the bottom. I think I remember that from one of Colmner's deleted posts. I think take that with a grain of salt, though.
two nations are aligned with this treaty, and they're the first ones to modernize in Lanneris.
So this actually makes sense because the Austin Islands. I show a map of it. The Austin Islands. I guess the Austridi island hopped to back on Urkon, and they both like intertraded. And I guess back on Urkon took that information to Lanneris, which you'll see does have an impact in the later maps.
To the south, we got the nation of Snowstania. Telling by the name, they are a cold country, and they are aligned with Farron. They even have an occupation zone with Farron. See, this is Farron, right? And then here it's just all occupation by both countries.
Yeah.
Over here, it's just colonies of Axonpool and Oranus. And then we got some occupation zones in the new continent, Suploris. And that's basically it for the political map.
So I'm gonna guess for Suploris. I'm guessing this is Snostania, this is Farron, and then this is Austridi.
Now we're going to move on to the climate map. So here, this is polar climate, this
Yeah.
shade of blue. Here, this neon green is tundra, black is mountains. This dark shade of green is taiga. This normal green is plains. This leafy green is deciduous forests. The red is Mediterranean.
Does he do it? I think he means deciduous. I think it's pronounced deciduous. Or he might know English better than me, even though I'm an American. Oh my goodness. I don't know.
And the purple is wetlands. And the yellow is desert, and this shade of green is tropical rainforest. So as you can see here, Suploris is all polar, obviously, because it's an extremely cold place.
So on the South Pole.
In Lanneris, the south is cold, but the north is more livable. The only reason why people even live here in the first place is because, just like in Iceland, there's like volcanic activity here, so that allows for heating, and well, people can live if there's heating. Over here, this area is extremely forested, and this is important later in the lore, as these two countries of Bacon and Yurkon will get invaded, and it will be like a guerrilla warfare type of thing.
Yeah.
Here we got plains and wetlands, so that's why. So you can see why the Morgan Empire is pretty powerful. They're the most powerful in the region, in the continent. This is Mediterranean. This is a bunch of mountains. Then we got some rivers here. Moving on, we got Anaris, the largest continent and have the most population. They have also the largest wetlands and the largest tropical rainforests in the world. They have also two very large rivers that
Imagine, like, this is just my thing. I think the reason why Antares was so desired by everyone, because if you look, it's completely colonized. But Lanneris is not at all. Like, instead of a Blistocrestian nation being the most powerful, it's the Lanian, which is a native nation. So I think it's because I mean, look at Antares. Antares. There is a lot of climates here, and a lot of people can inhabit it depending on like what they're used to. So there's a lot of areas where people can live, and it's also the largest continent. He did say that, and I assume like a lot of these areas would be really desired. Lanneris not so much because I mean and also there wasn't a unified nation of enters. Like, sure, there's Payuran, but they don't, and maybe Kapaipan, but that doesn't really do anything. But all of this was not really controlled by a nation. Maybe Six Land here, but I mean, other than that, there's not really many nations that control it. For Lanneris, there's a Lannian Morgan Empire that basically just controls everyone in a way, as in because they're the largest nation, they could just pick whoever they just could just pick on whoever they want. So I'd assume that's why mostly these areas didn't colonize. They colonized this more than this.
Feed millions of people, like make the
Yeah.
livelihoods of millions. And here we got also a pretty large desert, some taiga and tundra. Just to let you know, this desert is a cold desert because it's so close to the Arctic. It's like the Gobi Desert. Here we got PRN.
In fact, here the Gobi Desert, I'm pretty sure is in like Mongolia area, the Mongolia China area, and that is pretty north because it is right by Russia. And what's in Russia? Snow. Well, Siberia at least, and that's in Russia. So
Got forests and agricultural areas. We got Mediterranean climates and mountains, a lot of them in the central area. And then we got huge wetlands and rivers. Then we got some forests, taiga, and lastly, tundra. Moving on to Bloodskrift. As you can see, there's a huge river chain here. These are actually three rivers. This one, and this one.
I think all the rivers in Crest and most of them, and at least some of the ones, if he copied some other maps of Comoros that he made, um, have names. Uh, I'll put it up on the screen, but I don't know the names off the top of my head.
These rivers used to be separated, but due to man's work, these rivers have canals now and they are connected.
This is probably why Faran got so powerful so quickly, and this is why they probably rejuvenated so quickly. Because I mean, they have control over pretty much all these rivers, mostly most of like all these rivers. So anyone want to come through here, yeah, you're getting slapped with a fat tax, I'm sure. And it's probably why they got so powerful so quickly, and also why they rejuvenated so quickly after the First World War.
Each other. So, as you can see, there are plains, forests, and wetlands. So, Farron is extremely powerful. That's what you can see why they're powerful. We got Mediterranean climate here in the Murajan area, and then Upper Scadia is right here. So as you can see, there's a bunch of mountains separating the two areas of Bloodskrift. And then actually there's mountain ranges. They turn Bloodskrift into three.
So I'd imagine it's probably actually this makes sense
To the
actually
west,
because there's Faran and there's Oronas and then there's Haxenpol, which are actually the three most powerful nations. I wouldn't say in the world because I don't know how powerful exactly the Leninmorgan Empire is compared to them, but the three most powerful in Blisskrests, and you can see like their influence like through the mountains
north, and the south.
borders.
So these three are very culturally different. And then
Yeah.
we got a huge plain right here and some forests. And then another huge rivers, probably the largest Mediterranean area. Another mountains, which are in Swaziland. And then um desert, wetland, desert. So that's the thing here. That's the climates. Third map is the religion map. Now
Oh.
for the
So okay. So hold on. So hold on.
third is, is the religion.
So, as I was saying earlier about Bakon and Urkon and Australia being closely related, you can see their influence around the world because this is language maps. These are I'm not going. He'll explain the language types real quickly, but as you can see, Australia, Bakon, Urkon, and Lanneris are pretty much all the same language, or at least in the same language family. So it actually makes sense that Australia goes to Bakon and Urkon and trades with them. They eventually pick up the language and they use it as their own, and maybe tweak it, and then they spread it to Lanneris, which the Lanneris Empire, or Lanneris, something, um, that then picks it up. Like because these three are closely aligned. Back on Urkon and Lanneris Empire, and back on Urkon are closely aligned with Austridi, so it makes sense.
Now, for the sake of simplicity, we're gonna be using real religions as placeholders. If the official LMG, if you're watching this video, if you want to make fictional
I am
religions, you can do that if you want. But
okay.
here's the religions. So obviously, yellow Christianity,
I said languages, religions, languages. He's so language math. They're the same thing.
green
At least like same principle. The same principle I said about like the spread through Deb to Lanneris.
Islam, and red um, Buddhism. Here it's Southeast Asian paganism, like Eskimo type of religion, and then Slavic paganism. So as you can see, colonialism really did a thing by like converting all these people to Christianity or whatever religion you want to call it. But due to the Bloodcorestians arriving in Anaris so late at the 1600s rather than the 1400s, um, the Anarmenians have more time to develop and integrate, like to become more centralized and modernized, and establish their own religion. So as you can see, even in the political map, like they didn't conquer all of Anaris. Like it's basically like Asia, for example. Asia is modernized already when the Europeans came, so not all of
Yeah.
Asia is colonized. And even so, many of these colonies here were actually protectorates rather than actual colonies. The only actual colonies are the Ferranese colonies and the Austrian colonies, and this small colony here belonging to Upper Skyria. Now, the fourth is the language map. Here, we're going to be using
Same principle. Lanneris, same principle. Spread it. Imagine his point saying that in 1600s and fully conquer Anaris. There's not orange here. Or their own language.
languages for this one. The orange is Indo-European. The green is obviously Semitic languages. Here it's Uralic languages.
Because it's like the Uralic languages. It's like on Finland and North Russia, but and then there's just Hungary. As the area, I'm not sure that far, but and that's probably why this
Here it's Sino-Tibetan, Japanese, Korean, uh, Arctic languages, and then Turkic languages, Austronesian languages, and Caucasian languages. So that's it. That's my huge lore drop that I added. I hope you all have the patience to watch this video.
the patience to
And
watch
I guess if you enjoyed me yapping, I guess you can like, subscribe, and all that. And that's it, guys. So
the video. Honestly, fun. Um, very very yeah. It was a massive. Um, cleared up a lot of things. Um, things that I think I'm pretty sure. And if debates thing, then if you want to in your own video, yeah, this is a really good video. But uh, uh, also to CBA and this video is um, well made video. I hope make more Arantonia videos I did 2 years ago. And CBA the Arantonia video we work on. I hope to continue subscribe.